There are things going on with the Angels for sure. Surprisingly, I don't think people
save their lives.
I'm not sure I buy the Angels fully. We'll get to them too, but yeah, I don't know. I think you can make.
I'll just cue it up for you. The Los Angeles Angels will be buyers at the trade deadline. Now, I bring this up because they are only a game entering today. They were only a game and a half back of the wild card, and in the offseason, when they started trading for and signing free agents were aging veterans, the LOL Angels memes were all people were laughing at them like crazy. Why are they signing and trading for these guys like Travis d'Arnaud, et cetera? But now here we are, 78, 80 games into the season, and they are right there with the potential to make the playoffs. So are you buying or selling that the Angels will be buyers at the trade deadline? Kick us off, JC.
Okay. I am probably, well, it is tougher because I'll say this, if I were the Angels GM, I would not be buying. I don't think. But I wouldn't be completely shocked if they do. If they look at their circumstance and say, we could kind of sort of make a push towards this. Now, the Astros have been, I think, better enough to where that says, I think I sell. I think there's an argument for buy, but I think I sell. And the reason that I sell is because outside of Zach Neto, and there have been some other contributors, Nolan Schanuel has been really nice. It has been really good for them. But there's just no confidence for me that Mike Trout stays healthy. Joe Adell has been great recently, but I don't buy him as a consistently high-level MLB hitter to this point in his career. Logan O'Hoppy's been disappointing this year. Rengifo has been disappointing this year. Soler even has been disappointing this year for sure. Kyron Paris was awesome for a week and a half or 2 weeks or whatever it was, and then he's not even in the majors anymore. I just don't. Are they going to get a lot out of Lamont Wade? I don't see it. They traded for him. This team doesn't have enough for me to really buy that it's sustainable. And while Jose Soriano's been awesome as of late, Tyler Anderson has not. Kyle Hendricks is not a guy you're counting on. Jack Kohanowitz is, I think, one of the overall lower tier starters consistently starting in MLB right now. No offense. They have some interesting prospect pitchers, guys like Aldo Gary and Dana and some guys like that maybe could help out that bullpen in the second half of the year potentially, or sorry, that's that rotation in the second half of the year. But I'm not sold. There's too many holes. And I think the AL West, while underwhelming, I feel like I'd buy the Rangers as maybe I'm delusional. They got to figure out at some point. I'd buy them more than I'd buy the Angels personally. And then I think the Mariners are solid. And the Astros are the best team in the division.
Yeah, I definitely agree, but I'm going to come at it from a different way. They are one of only 3 teams that have 5 hitters with 10 home runs this year. With the Cubs, definitely the Yankees, and the Cubs. So if you're talking about purely hitting, they can slug with anyone. Ward's got almost 20 homers. Adell's at 15. O'Hoppy's at 14. Neto 10. Trout 12. Those are good numbers, but they also have 3 of the 15 worst starting pitchers in baseball right now by like a lot. Like Kashanowitz is number 2. He was number 1 up until like a couple seconds ago.
Who's the worst right now?
Very bad. It might be JP Sears. Off the top of my head, I wrote it all down.
I would believe JP Sears, honestly, if you told me that.
I can see it. I'm starting him in a league on Sunday because he's starting on Sunday, and I need Sunday pitchers for a stack in that league. But
Ben Brown must have just taken it over.
Ben Brown. Yeah, people were buying him having a good year this year. That did not work out.
He's had some nice games, like really strong starts, but overall he's just not that guy. But it's Ben Brown worst of all, and then JP Sears. Kashanowitz is tied with Brandon Pfaadt, and then Zach Gallen left at the bottom 5. Arizona might be the most miserable team in the league right now. Like Baltimore, they know what they're doing. Arizona, I did not expect to have 2 of their pitchers in the bottom 5 ERA.
And their hitting is so good. Their pitching has let them down. Burns injury, Pfaadt and Gallen both sucking. It's been underwhelming as hell for them.
I think that the D-backs might be the only team with multiple players with 20 home runs. They are. But that should be winning you games. You know, that should be good enough, and it's just not. Like they're just throwing like bullpen to these hitters. It's been really bad. Anyways, I don't think the Angels are buying. I think it would be silly of them to buy. They've got 6 contracts coming up by the end of the year. All of them are 32 and older. And I think, if anything, they need to be selling right now. Even when I look at the wild card race in the AL, I've got, like JC said, I've got Texas over them. They're only a half a game back of LA right now. And then you've got the Mariners ahead of you in the wild card, which they're just going to spank you, and then they're going to have their 5 best pitchers back, and they're going to have the best rotation in the league, maybe. We don't know. But definitely not buying. Definitely, I think, would be a big mistake to go into a playoff series with Anderson, with like a Kikuchi, Soriano, and then they're going to triple piggyback Anderson, Hendricks, and Kashanowitz for game 3.
Or a bunch of rookies.
Yeah, just like bring up Dana and let him go for it. I just don't think that's a good idea.
Ram, are you buying or selling that the Angels will be buyers at the trade deadline?
I'm selling so hard that I would tell you that I think in that division that the Angels are the worst of the 5 teams. Because I think the Athletics, although they are on a bad stretch after a hot start, have enough talent that I put some respect on their name, and I know that they're going to figure some things out, even in that weird minor league ballpark that they've got going on. But I really actually love a lot of the talent on the Athletics, especially Jacob Wilson, who I know we're going to talk about later on too. So I think they're the worst team in that division. I know they're 6 games ahead of the Athletics, but I still think they're the worst team out of that 5. And so there should be no reason. JC and Ty both tied this in, but they should not be buying. Like, logistically, they should not be doing that. Take what you can get from the young guys. Give the guys some time. Give Moore some time. Figure out what you've got in Dana and Aldegary, those guys. Let the kids play. If you start winning games, that's awesome. Speed up your timeline a little bit, right? But at the end of the day, you should not be buying if you're the worst team in your own division. I do not support that. I am saying that now, are they badly run enough that they might buy? That's a different question, but I don't think they should. So I'm selling.
I am a little bit different on it in that I think that they're going to hang around close enough to where it'll be within eye shot when we get closer to the deadline of the wild card. And the Angels, historically, if they are within eye shot, they will trade for players. We saw them do this a couple of years ago. And then, 2 weeks left into the season, they just DFA'd all the guys that they had acquired simply because they wanted to save salary. But if they hang around, they will be buyers. And then just a couple things I wanted to touch on with them. I mean, like Mike Trout, if he can stay healthy, he will keep the team in contention. I mean, right now in the month of June, he's got like 130 WRC plus. So kind of being the Mike Trout we know. In the last month, Joe Adell is kind of fulfilling some of that promise of being that first round pick that he was. In the last month, this is a guy with a 910 OPS and a 154 WRC plus. And a month is a pretty big sample size. I mean, it's not, obviously you want to take larger ones into more consideration, but it shows that he's on a heater right now. And if he can continue that, those 2 guys in that lineup could be really, really powerful for them. And then you have guys like Zach Neto and other guys. This could be a team that hangs around and is in contention for that wild card spot. And history says that their ownership will press the front office to make acquisitions and try to get to the playoffs, which I think is admirable. Like, I know sometimes we want to slight teams for that, but how many times do we get mad at teams for just all out tanking? To me, it's respectful that they actually try to improve their club and not all out tank. I don't know. Like, I would much rather see teams do that than what the White Sox are doing right now and what the Rockies are doing right now.